This is the situation unfolding in the heart of the United States, where a massive out-of-season snowstorm has swept across Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan, transforming entire cities into frozen landscapes within just a few hours. Roads have turned into slippery, dangerous corridors, schools have canceled classes, and residents have found themselves literally trapped beneath rapidly rising layers of snow. All of this happened as a powerful lake-effect snow event intensified over Lake Michigan, creating narrow and extremely intense snowbands that repeatedly struck the same neighborhoods for hours without a single break. The storm system began moving quickly across the western Midwest, but it was the passage of frigid air over the still relatively mild waters of Lake Michigan that transformed an ordinary snowfall into an extreme event. Experts at the National Weather Service described it as a textbook atmospheric setup for lake-effect snow: high instability, cold air aloft, steady winds, and excess moisture rising from the lake. When these conditions come together, what happens is astonishing even for those who have lived in these areas for years. Long, narrow snowbands begin forming over the lake's surface and move inland while maintaining impressive strength. In this event, some of these bands dropped snow so rapidly that visibility fell to zero within minutes. It's the so-called whiteout, a white wall that completely erases the horizon. Across the greater Chicago metropolitan area, conditions shifted dramatically from one neighborhood to the next. Some areas saw only a light dusting, while just a few miles farther south, entire suburbs were literally buried. In Kankakee County and the Momence area, early reports were already indicating more than 30 centimeters of snow falling in a very short time. It's not the first time the southern part of the region has been hit this hard. In recent years, similar events here have produced accumulations exceeding 60 centimeters overnight. Across the state line, in northwest Indiana, towns like Lowell and Cedar Lake were struck by snow bands that delivered totals of up to 25 centimeters. Roads became impassable, and many homes were cut off for hours. In other areas between Lake County and Porter County, snowfall totals ranged from 15 to 18 centimeters. But what made conditions even worse were the sudden wind gusts that pushed the fresh snow into drifts nearly as tall as parked cars. While the hardest-hit suburbs faced exceptional snowfall amounts, Chicago's airports, O'Hare and Midway, reported lower totals, yet the situation was still critical. Runways were constantly plowed and treated with de-icing chemicals, but delays still multiplied. On the highways, however, the situation deteriorated quickly. Near zero visibility, icy roadways, and drivers forced to travel at reduced speeds. Multiple accidents were reported along I-65 and I-94. In some areas of Michigan and Indiana, the snowbands became so intense that they produced a rare and remarkable phenomenon: thundersnow, meaning thunder and lightning during a snowfall. This is an event that occurs only during the most violent snowstorms, when the atmosphere becomes electrically charged despite the freezing temperatures. Several residents reported hearing deep, sudden rumbles in the middle of the night, followed by flashes that illuminated the falling snow. In the early hours of the morning, many residents woke up to find their cars and driveways completely buried under snowdrifts that rose higher than car windows. Municipal crews worked non-stop to clear the main roads, but the snow continued to fall faster than it could be removed. In some areas, local power outages were reported due to the weight of wet snow on tree branches and power lines. This storm serves as a harsh reminder of just how unpredictable and violent the Midwest's weather can be. A single lake-effect snowband, if positioned just right, can paralyze an entire community and turn an ordinary day into a sudden emergency. For those living near Lake Michigan, this event could be just the beginning of a long, intense, and challenging winter season. Authorities are urging residents to stay informed, prepared, and cautious because winter has arrived with force and shows no sign of letting up.